You like the video? Oh, thanks. Thanks for watching it. $195 bleed stacks. All right, so since this is not a real build guide or anything, it's just me showing my day one leveling through the campaign. We're gonna open up with some quick little gameplay and see if you like this. I just want to show you guys what I figured out for a build here, and yeah, we just talk about how it works, why it works. And yeah, it's pretty effective. I think it's worth sharing. So yesterday was the launch. The servers, I believe, are still down. I see people in the Discord, in the last Epoch channel, still talking about getting disconnected. If you see streamers playing the game, they are probably playing offline. You know, we're just playing the game. You don't have to play online. Unfortunately, offline characters cannot be transferred online. So, you know, you're stuck like that, but you do get access to all of the features besides trade. So, and your MTX, I guess, if you care about that too much. You can still play the game. I will probably make a Warlock after this character when I'm done with it. But in regards to where I am, I'm currently level 44. I am in Act 7. There are 9 acts through the campaign, so I am most of the way done. And this is a Bleed Falconer build. So as you can see, I am a Ranger who is spec'd into Falconer. This is my little buddy. I can press the Falcon Strikes button to make him attack. He will periodically go around and just attack enemies, actually pretty quickly. He has pretty good attack speed. He has that Falcon Feather attack. I think that's what it's called. Falcon Feathers or something like that. It is called, where is it right here? Feather Knives, actually. So he'll do that Feather Knives attack with a cooldown, which does like a nice little AoE, like Fan of Knives attack. He will do a lot of work. As you can see, I don't really have to do anything. He will go around and attack. He hits pretty hard. That's the Feather Knives attack, and he can clear many of the monsters himself. We also have him spec'd into the Mark skill. He's up here, the Falconer's Mark, so he'll mark the enemies. Then we can consume that mark and make ourselves do more damage and go faster. And then our idea for our own character here is we are using Umbral Blades with as many points into bleed as possible. And as you saw in the intro clip, we can stack many, many bleed stacks. The way that damage over time works in this game is chance to stack damage over time can go over 100%. So if you have 200% chance to bleed, you will always inflict 2 bleed stacks per attack. And we are stacking all of the chance to bleed. I'm going to show you guys all the points. I'm not going to go into a ton of detail, but I'll show you all the points that I went for this build. But just for the playstyle, what we're doing is we're just using this Umbral Blades move right here, which throws out blades, and we actually throw out 2, 4, 6, and then we bring back all 12 of them on the 4th attack. So very similar to Xayah in League of Legends. Actually, there's a lot of League of Legends character similarities here. You can also kind of play like Zed with some of the shift attacks if you want to do that. But we throw out the blades, and then we can consume them. There's no enemies there. That's kind of the the annoying thing is, let's see. Bring it back. Yeah, we actually kill the enemies way too quickly. We do so much damage. You can see 23 bleed stacks. See, let me pull them back right there. We can inflict a ton of bleed stacks really, really quickly. Literally hundreds of bleed stacks very, very quickly on the enemies, doing a ton of damage over time. And this is the basic playstyle right here, is we are just doing our Umbral Blades. We're shifting periodically to go faster. I do have Smoke Bomb right here to blind the enemies, get a little bit more fast. You know, a little bit of a defensive node. And then I actually have Net here with the Net Trap nodes, as well as chance to bleed on the net. And we can actually kill enemies with just the net. Let's see if my bird doesn't kill them. So just the net is actually inflicting a ton of bleeds as well. It will stun and slow enemies. And yeah, so net's actually really good as well. It's a good defensive node. So you can do the net, you can do the smoke bomb, and then spam your Umbral Blades. So smoke bomb, and then, I mean, everything just dies so quickly. The campaign's really, really easy. So kind of none of this really matters at the end of the day. but it's been really, really effective for when you do fight the bosses and you see them. I felt incredibly strong through the entire campaign. The one thing is I have not really spec'd into defense whatsoever. I have a couple defensive nodes, but not much at all. And I haven't needed more. Pretty much, you know, at the end of the day with this game, at least through like early corruption, early campaign, nothing matters. Like this is a relatively easy game, very, very smooth difficulty curve, and just take your time, you know, make a build that makes sense. So that's the play style. You saw the boss kill at the beginning, so very effective. If this looks appealing to you, and if you want to give it a shot, let's just show exactly what we did. So early on, I leveled with Flurry into Puncture. I just took some of the bleed nodes. I went to like Perforate and Bloodthirst very, very early. As soon as we got Umbral Blades, I forget which level it was. It was like level 12, 14, something like that. We immediately removed Puncture, and you can change that by clicking Respec, Despecialize Skill right here. And then we specialized into Umbral Blades. With Umbral Blades, we do want to go immediately into Hidden Blades, then into Dusk Hunter, and then into Cut and Leave. So we want to, with this, we actually throw 4 times instead of 3, and then we want to throw as many blades as possible, and that's the idea right here. Throw tons and tons of blades, and then we want to go into Cut and Leave, and then we're going to go eventually into Bloody Trail. And then just as many blades as possible, as many bleed stacks as possible. That's the idea there. In Shift, we want to go into Velocity, then down into Shadow Slip, and then Shadow Recuperation. And then after that, we're going to go up into Molting and just entirely defensive nodes. With Falconry, I just went down Falconer's Journey into Feather Knives, 1 point into Rending Talons, then Hunter Spoils, and then Falcon's Gale. I will be filling out Rending Talons after that. And then I'm not sure. You know, Falcon Screech seems pretty interesting. Just making him do more damage with Dark Plumage. Is it a bird? There's some really funny nodes right here. I'm not really sure where I'm going to go after that, but these are the core nodes that feel really good so far. And then with Net, we are going into Rending Wires, then into Curved Hooks. 1 point into Surprise Snare is just nice to have, and then Bold Throw and Net Trap. So we throw, usually you dash backwards when you use a net. This way you don't move anywhere, and you throw a bunch of net traps on the ground. You can have up to 6. After that, I probably will be going into Server of Tricks. But Mana Sustain is a little bit tricky right now. Falcon Strikes cost a lot of mana, as you can see, and I don't really care about the net that much to spend more mana to throw my nets. And then in terms of gearing, your priorities are Dexterity, Chance to Bleed, increased physical damage, damage over time, anything like that. Dexterity is number 1. It scales all of your abilities, including your bird, very well. Flat throwing damage is really good. We don't do melee or bow skills or anything like that. Throwing damage is how we scale our flat damage there. And then physical, Chance to Bleed, anything like that will scale the damage. Oh, and then the passive tree for the rogue, we want to go into Twin Blade. We are dual wielding right now. We want to do as much damage as possible. And then we want to go into Disembowel. On our 3rd attack, we will do more bleed stacks. Because we're throwing all the knives, that stacks really well with Umbral Blades. Lots of bleed stacks right there. A little bit of sustain, more damage, more movement speed with agility. Nothing fancy right here. And then in terms of the Falconer nodes, I was feeling a little squishy, so I went into Wilderness Scout. 1 point in Handler to go into Crimson Skies. Agile Hunt here. More throwing damage, more dexterity. Peltast, Avian Hurl, and then Evasion Tactics to get a little bit more defensive, but also scale dexterity. After that, we're going to be looking at Sky Assassin for more damage over time. Bleed Chance giving the Falcon more damage is really good. This will actually give our Falcon Bleed Chance, which is really nice. And then we're going to be going into Tailwind, which will just give us more movement speed, more dodge rating. Will feel really good. I haven't unlocked Dive Bomb or Aerial Assault yet, so if I do end up using those instead of Net or Smoke Bomb, I'll probably grab Intuitive Connection. Net and Smoke Bomb are really optional right now. The core is just Umbral Blades, Shift, and then the Falcon Strikes. Accidental loading screen right there. Very nice looking deer, man, if I do say so myself. Anyway, that's it. That's the build. Just a quick little overview for you guys. I'm only an Act 7. It's not a build guide or anything. And you want to level a Falconer. I think this is a great little synergy and a setup that feels incredibly strong. Those were the Act 6 bosses that I showed at the clip at the beginning of the video. And as you can see, it was very easy. Tons of bleed stacks. Very, very high mobility. We can get around really quickly. Very easy to dodge things. So fits my playstyle perfectly. Had a lot of fun. Going to be continuing the stream today at around noon Eastern Standard Time. So I hope you join me. Hope to see you guys there. And yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. Bye.